I want to get back on the topic of red teaming and pen testing because you do both, and it's really nice to know like the differences between the two. And especially as me as a pen tester who doesn't do red teaming, my goal is to eventually do some more red team operations because I think it's more fun. Would you agree with that? Do you think red teaming is more fun, or do you?
It's more stressful, but it's more rewarding at the same time. It's just to get domain admin on a pen test, I have got a little numb to anymore. But getting domain admin on a red team is something special. To knowing you went the extra mile, you were undetected, you beat EDR, you beat all the SIM traffic, none of the analysts saw you. It's so much more rewarding, and the tradecraft for it's just evolving every single day. A lot of the pen testing hasn't. I don't want to say it hasn't come very far because it absolutely has, but it's a lot of the same old of okay, they left LLMNR on. I relayed. I got on. There's DA running as a service. Just some stuff like that. It's a lot of those look the same, but like red teams are pretty different every single time. It's like, oh, okay, they're running best EDR on the market. Okay, I just wrote this loader 2 weeks ago. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Beacon checked in. We're in. Holy crap, that never happens. Or oh, they gobbled us up the first time. Oh, and the sock locked our account like within 30 seconds. Oh, okay, it's going to be one of these tests. It's so rewarding to when we actually do get through.
Yeah, it does sound more rewarding. So when you're doing a red team engagement compared to a penetration test, do you feel more like a threat actor at that point?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's if you ever like getting my first red team win, I'd say with my team we get more wins than losses at this point. I wouldn't have exact metrics, but we win pretty often. But it's like that is the best cure to imposter syndrome I think I've ever had. Was okay if this were a real fish and this were a real everything, like okay, if I was actually a bad guy, like I'd be like a millionaire right now if we were actually moving with intent. And that was the best cure. Honestly, just not to repeat myself, best cure for imposter syndrome I ever have. Like okay, cool, we actually did it. All the training and stuff paid off. Wow, I actually like the company was like thrilled with us too. Like they loved it, and I was like, okay, I did some good. I got to I made it. This is great.
It's interesting you bring up the how the company reacted to your success. How did the blue team react to your success?
We always make sure to include some like good things they did at the same time. So there's a few times that they definitely like probably cued into it because we get our persistence was really good on a few of the tests. So they got a couple of us, but they didn't smack them all the way. But we walked them through what we did. We showed them the techniques of the EDR. We have another team that kind of helped tune the EDRs to get certain alerts and make sure they're actually getting everything. And we found out at the end of this, we ransomwared them, and like their ransomware prevention was so just messed up that if this would happen for real, they would have been down for like days. So we decrypted all the test stuff, and that could have really saved them someday in the future, not having all that set up right. And to find that was just huge value for them. And then that was like a real cemented. It's like okay, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now. Just you're getting all the like hearing the praise from the team, the client, and the rest of the team for all of that. Like you're there to break stuff. That's kind of what you're supposed to do. So like don't be shy when you're talking to the client because like you're there to find things. If you just tell them nope, you're good, that can be valuable at times when they truly are good. But you're also don't be afraid to tell them oh yeah we're domain admin because that's literally what you're there for.
So you have multiple clients. Is that how you're kind of set up in your organization right now?
Pretty much, yeah. We have a new one probably every 2 weeks, month, 2 months. The operations kind of vary in length, but yeah, they go kind of all over the place. But it's never been, very rarely is it the same client twice or more than 2 or 3 times.
Okay, that's actually one of the things I was going to ask was like if you had a repeat client and you have a successful red team engagement and like you said like a huge one where you get domain admin, you went through the SIEM, you went through all their incident response, all that stuff, and you have to tell them exactly what you did so they get better. Does that like going in for the next round, like if you have a repeat client, is it? I'm assuming it's a lot harder because you basically just told them all your techniques, right?
Not always. Sometimes we find another route. Sometimes they didn't fix it, but more times than not they did. And it's always really nice to see when they did. It's always a test of skill from our team as well. Whenever we go in, we run them over. They are a lot better the second time around, thanks to thankfully to our recommendations. And then it's like, okay, it's game on now. Okay, now we're back to square one. Not square one, but okay, it's okay, game on. Let's see where it goes. It's just nice to see whenever seeing clients improve. Plus, it's just, nice test of skill for us at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds fun. I'd really that's one of my goals is to get into more red team engagement stuff. Like you said, it's nice to see the clients fix the stuff because as a pen tester, like I would get on a test and I would see the last year report and the same findings are still there. You're like, why did you not fix
Yeah.
any of these stuff? And then I have to put the same findings on the next year report, and that's frustrating as a pen tester. You're like, yeah, I have findings here, but at the same time, it's like
Yeah.
you should be fixing these.
Yeah, I always just like finding new stuff too, because whenever I find the repeat stuff, I feel like I'm just copying someone else's homework the
Right.
same day.
Yep.
'Cause like, oh, someone else found this. I'm just repeating it. I'm just going through
Yeah.
the.
It
And it just
doesn't.
drives me nuts. It's just nice to find new stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah.
feel good when you're just like copy and pasting from the last report and then you're putting it in this report. It makes you feel like you didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just
You
feel
know?
like I wasted every. Yeah, I just feel like I wasted everyone's time at that point.
Yeah. So blue teamers, if you're listening, if you get a report, pen test report, red team report, fix your stuff.
Blue teamers, you can turn off SMB signing. It is possible. I promise. It's possible. Not easy, but possible.